Thank you. Two last questions. The rest I'll submit for the record. Mr. Niles, I heard your opening statement, and but one of the challenges we have in the Caribbean is the challenge of China and of the Caribbean nations voting in ways that are contrary to where I think they should be in terms of alignment at the OAS and other international institutions. Over the last decade, the United States' complacent approach to the Caribbean has created a power vacuum, allowing China to assert its influence at the expense of our national interest, security, prosperity. China has become one of the largest trading partners for many Caribbean nations, allowing it to further expand its predatory economic practices. Nevertheless, the United States continues to fail to dedicate sufficient resources and attention to the Caribbean nations, particularly those in the Eastern Caribbean. So, if confirmed, what steps will you take to strengthen our ability to compete with China in the region? How will you strengthen the visibility and impact of U.S. diplomatic efforts, not just in Barbados, but across the Eastern Caribbean?
Thank you, Chairman Menendez. This is a topic that will be one of my top priorities if confirmed as ambassador. I come from Seattle. As I mentioned in my statement, we are the most trade-dependent state in the nation. So we know a lot about China. We see it in action in our community. We are engaged. I worked for a friend and mentor, Governor Gary Locke, who was the nation's first Chinese-American governor. I traveled to China with him on trade delegations. I have had a lot of experience with China. I think, a lot of these small countries see this, easy Chinese money as very enticing. And I think part of the job of the ambassador is to ensure they know what they are getting for their increased debt. And also showing some alternatives. And I think that, the U.S. private sector, I think we don't have a lot of U.S. government money to give around like the Chinese do, but we certainly have an incredible private sector that I would like to see us promoting more in the region. And again, not just as a one-off for a small nation, but looking at it more holistically, like in the 5G rollout. So I think the power of communication is also really incredible. I hear that a lot from the Post, that having someone with my background as a professional communicator, a PR person, I actually know how to generate interest and advocate for American companies. I've spent 30 years doing that. So I look forward to I think deepening the connections with these countries and the leadership, but also introducing them to the great U.S. industries that are out there that may not look at these countries right now because they're so small.
Well, I appreciate that, but one of the things I really would like to see upon your confirmation is a robust engagement, particularly at the OAS. These countries have an equal vote as anybody else in the hemisphere, but they consistently vote against our positions. And we are consistently seeking to try to help them. So something is a disconnect there between our desire to help them and what we do, and their voting in adversity to our interests. So I hope that you will make that a priority.
Absolutely, Senator. I spoke with the ambassador to the OAS yesterday about this very topic and would look forward to partnering with him.
Finally, Ms. Lempert, before I turn to Senator Haggerty, Jordan has been an important advocate for calm stability, particularly given its role with respect to the holy sites in Jerusalem. Its hosting of the recent Aqaba meetings with senior officials from the U.S., Israel, Egypt, and Jordan, and the PA went a long way towards easing tensions. How do you evaluate the current state of relationship between Israel and Jordan, and what steps can you take as ambassador to bring Jordan into the Negev Forum?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. The peace treaty between Israel and Jordan has been a pillar of regional stability for the past 30 years. That said, there's always room for growth, and if confirmed, that would be something that I would definitely want to work together with Jordan on. I think there's a variety of interesting avenues to pursue. Project Prosperity, the water for solar deal between the UAE, Israel, and Jordan with U.S. support is one such example of, I think, very interesting way to take advantage of increasing regional integration and move forward economic initiatives. I do think that Jordan belongs in the Negev Forum. In my current capacity, I've made that point to Jordanian officials. If confirmed, I look forward to encouraging them to do so. I believe that as the second Arab country to make peace with Israel, it makes absolute sense. There's an empty seat at the table of the Negev Forum where Jordan should be. And this is a very interesting new multilateral grouping building on the Abraham Accords that really can advance peace and regional integration, but also cooperation regionally on these transnational issues such as water, food security, health, energy. And I think it would really behoove Jordan to be there. I think it would benefit them. At the risk of taking too much time, I'm sorry, but I also very much agree with you about the important role that Jordan played in convening the meeting in Aqaba in February, and then there was a subsequent meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh in March, and we're looking to work with our regional partners, Jordan chief among them, to continue those meetings because it's very, very important to help de-escalate